What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Ilia and Marab have been spotted training together in Spain, and fans are loving the crossover. Merab shared a short video on social media showing the two putting in work with a clear focus on boxing. According to Merab, he's been sharpening his hands alongside Ilia, who is widely respected for his striking and technical boxing skills. In the clip, Merab can be heard praising the training session and giving credit to Ilia, along with the rest of the team in the gym. He joked about himself being more of a wrestler, while openly acknowledging how high-level Ilia's boxing really is. The energy in the room was positive, with plenty of laughs, encouragement, and mutual respect between the two fighters. Training in Spain appears to be benefiting both men, blending styles and experience as they continue to evolve. Moments like these highlight how elite fighters push each other outside of competition. It's another reminder that high-level collaboration can raise everyone's game, especially when world-class talent shares the mat and the work ethic. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news, Shawn O'Malley has his eyes locked on Petr Yan and believes a dominant win at UFC 324 could send him straight into a massive championship moment at the UFC White House. O'Malley is set to face Song Yadong in January, and he's confident that a statement performance would put him right at the front of the line. In his view, the UFC would have no better option than him to represent the USA on such a historic card. According to Shawn, the idea really clicked after Petr Yan's recent victory. He explained that it flipped a switch mentally and gave him a new level of motivation. His plan is simple: go out, beat Song Yadong in convincing fashion, and then meet Petr Yan at the White House. He feels the matchup makes perfect sense and says fans will come around once they see what he delivers inside the cage. Whether it ends up being a 15-minute clinic or a knockout, O'Malley believes people will want to see that fight once January 25th arrives. There is pushback from fans who argue that Merab deserves another shot after his recent run, even though he stumbled in his latest outing. Still, Shawn thinks the UFC's priorities are clear. With the White House setting, American stars matter, and he sees himself as the obvious choice. He even pointed out that many of the sport's biggest names are currently unavailable. Ilia is dealing with family matters. Alex Pereira is sidelined with a broken foot, John Jones doesn't have a clear opponent, and Conor remains unpredictable. In that landscape, O'Malley believes his name solves a major problem for the promotion. He also suggested that the UFC may have lined things up deliberately, hoping he shines at UFC 324 so they can book a high-profile title fight against Petr Yan on that card. From his perspective, there simply aren't many other superstars ready to step in, especially American ones, and his presence would help anchor the event. Away from the matchup talk, O'Malley also opened up about a personal milestone. December 24th marks 1 full year since he stepped away from social media. He described the decision as life-changing, explaining that the constant noise had become toxic and distracting. While he still allows himself YouTube, he stayed off everything else and believes the break has made him calmer and more focused. Shawn said his home life feels better, his peace of mind has improved, and this past year has been the strongest he's ever felt mentally. He admitted there's still an inner edge and competitive fire pushing him forward, but he's learned to manage it. With the fight just weeks away, he feels balanced, motivated, and ready, convinced that the momentum he's building now is setting up what he believes will be the best year of his career. Moving on to another news, we've got an interesting announcement outside the UFC that still heavily involves UFC talent. It was revealed that Arman will be facing Lance Palmer at Real American Freestyle 5 on January 10th. This matchup adds another busy chapter to an already packed schedule for Arman, who has been extremely active on the grappling scene over the past month. This will mark Arman's 3rd grappling bout in roughly 4 to 5 weeks, which is an impressive workload by any standard. His first appearance came in Moscow, where he competed for the ACBJ belt against Mehdi Baidulev. Arman delivered a strong performance and walked away with the win, continuing to build momentum outside of MMA competition. His next assignment is set for December 30th, where he is scheduled to face Sharamagomedov under the Hype FC banner. That matchup already carries plenty of intrigue, but Arman isn't stopping there. Just days later, he'll step onto the mats again, this time against Lance Palmer at RF 5, competing in a lightweight grappling bout. This event will mark Arman's first appearance under the RF banner, and it won't be an easy introduction. Lance Palmer brings a resume that demands respect. He is a two-time PFL champion and also held the World Series of Fighting featherweight title earlier in his career. Beyond his MMA accolades, Palmer boasts an elite wrestling background, having been a four-time NCAA Division I All-American. That pedigree alone makes him a dangerous and technically sound opponent. With Palmer's wrestling credentials and competitive experience, this matchup represents a serious challenge for Arman. It's a test that could further solidify his reputation as one of the most well-rounded grapplers competing today. As for RAV 5 itself, the card is shaping up to be stacked from top to bottom. In addition to Arman versus Lance Palmer, fans will also see Nickal take on Yoel Romero, along with Colby Covington facing Rockhold. For fans dealing with a long UFC layoff, this event delivers high-level matchups and star power. Overall, RAV 5 is setting the tone for the start of the year, offering action-packed grappling bouts and major names all on one card, making it a must-watch event for fight fans. Moving on to another news. Rockhold has taken aim at the UFC, criticizing the promotion for what he sees as a clear push behind Paddy Pimblett. As UFC 324 approaches, opinions across the MMA community remain divided, and Rockhold made it clear he isn't impressed with how things are being handled. Speaking during an appearance on Submission Radio, the former champion expressed frustration with the UFC's matchmaking and promotional strategy surrounding Paddy. Rockhold said he believes the UFC is doing everything possible to maneuver Paddy into a title position, regardless of whether he's earned it. According to him, the promotion is bending over backwards to give Paddy favorable matchups that could fast-track him to a belt and reignite excitement in the UK market. He admitted the situation annoys him, especially when fighters start talking like championships are already guaranteed. He also took a broader shot at the idea of interim titles, saying they don't carry real meaning for true competitors. Rockhold pointed to fighters like Justin Gaethje, explaining that Gaethje understands the difference and only cares about becoming a legitimate, undisputed champion. In contrast, he feels Paddy is already speaking as if a belt is inevitable, acting like the opportunity itself means more than actually proving it inside the cage. Rockhold said it feels like the UFC is carefully lining things up to give Paddy the best possible chance to succeed, not because of merit, but because of marketability. In his view, the promotion is focused on restoring hype and fan love in the UK, even if that means overlooking more deserving contenders. While he stopped short of blaming Paddy directly, his frustration was clearly aimed at the system enabling the push. The conversation then shifted toward Arman and his recent performances in the grappling scene. Rockhold had nothing but praise for Arman, calling his wrestling and grappling elite. He believes Arman presents a serious problem for Ilia, especially if the fight spends extended time on the ground. According to Rockhold, Arman's grappling isn't just solid, it's high level and proven against top competition. He added that a matchup like that would truly test Ilia's ground game in ways fans haven't fully seen yet. While Ilia is clearly skilled, Rockhold emphasized that Arman operates on another level in grappling exchanges. Overall, Rockhold's comments highlighted his growing frustration with promotional favoritism, while also reinforcing his respect for fighters who build their careers through consistent, elite performances rather than hype alone. Moving on to another news. Colby Covington is already stirring things up again, this time calling out Tyron Woodley for a potential matchup under the Real American Freestyle banner. At the moment, it doesn't sound like Colby is in any rush to return to the UFC. Instead, he seems focused on opportunities outside the promotion, possibly waiting to see how things shape up with the rumored UFC White House card. For now, his attention is firmly elsewhere. In a video posted to his YouTube channel, Covington went directly at Woodley, mocking his recent boxing run and questioning his career choices. Colby didn't hold back, criticizing Woodley for moving away from wrestling and competing in boxing matches that, in his view, have damaged his legacy. He framed the callout as both an insult and an opportunity, inviting Woodley to compete in a Real American Freestyle match instead. Colby said Woodley used to fight for championships, but is now, in his words, selling off what's left of his reputation. He took shots at Woodley's recent losses in boxing, claiming those fights were about money rather than competition. Covington argued that Woodley should have retired comfortably, but instead continues to put himself in tough situations to stay financially afloat. Despite the harsh tone, Colby positioned himself as someone offering a way out. He reminded Woodley of his wrestling background, pointing out that he was an All-American and a Big 12 champion long before the boxing experiment. According to Colby, boxing was never Woodley's true skill set, and returning to grappling would give him a better chance at redemption. Covington also tied the callout to his own plans, saying that after he handles Rockhold at RAF on January 10th, Woodley could be next in line. He claimed the matchup would give Woodley one last opportunity to compete in a discipline that actually suits him, while also promising to dominate him on the mat. The message ended with Colby telling Woodley that he knows how to get in touch and should contact his team if he's serious. As expected, the callout instantly grabbed attention, adding more drama and tension to an already stacked RAF card. Moving on to another news, a bizarre situation involving Andrei Arlovski has suddenly turned into potential fight talk. A few days after the Jake Paul vs. Anthony Joshua boxing event, Arlovski was walking back to the parking garage with his family when he crossed paths with livestream influencer Jack Doherty. Jack is known for walking around with a bodyguard, intentionally bumping into people, and relying on security to avoid consequences. This time, that approach completely backfired. As Arlovski made his way through the crowd, Jack and his group bumped into him, and things escalated quickly. Video from the incident spread online, showing chaos breaking out after contact was made. Arlovski later explained that the situation wasn't provoked by him at all, and that his wife and son were right beside him when it happened. According to Andrei, Jack bumped into his wife first, which immediately triggered the confrontation. Recently, Arlovski said he wants to get his get back, specifically with the bodyguard involved. He described the punch thrown at him as cheap and unnecessary. Not long after, Jack responded online, claiming his security guard would be willing to box or fight Arlovski, and even suggested setting it up as a proper event, while openly bragging about making money from the situation. That response did not go over well with the MMA community. Fans quickly roasted Jack, accusing him of hiding behind his bodyguard and chasing clout. Many said they would rather see Arlovski fight Jack himself instead. Others pointed out that in the original footage, the bodyguard clearly didn't want any real trouble and allowed others to step in instead. Some comments were ruthless, joking about Arlovski swinging Jack around rather than fighting his security. Arlovski later appeared on the Ariel Helwani show and gave his side of the story in more detail. He explained that he tried to avoid the cameras and the crowd entirely, but Jack walked into his family. When Arlovski turned around to ask what was going on, multiple people jumped in, including the bodyguard. He also revealed that his wife lost her phone during the chaos and that he had to file a police report afterward. Arlovski emphasized that the video speaks for itself and that his wife was trying to stop the situation from escalating. He made it clear he was proud of how his family handled themselves and disappointed that it happened at all. At 46 years old, Arlovski isn't the same heavyweight force he was a decade ago. He last fought in the UFC in 2024, losing to Martin Buday at the age of 45. Still, the incident has sparked massive attention, and whether anything comes from it or not, it has already turned into one of the strangest post-fight controversies in recent memory. Moving on to another news. It looks like Dana White and the UFC are continuing to trim down the roster, as multiple fighters have now been removed in a short span of time. Just days after earlier cuts were reported, another wave followed, and this one stood out due to the high number of European fighters affected. The situation was highlighted by Tom Feely, sparking heavy discussion across the MMA community. The release that shocked fans the most involved Renat Fakhrinov. According to early reports, he was removed from the UFC roster despite going 6-0 with one draw inside the promotion. Naturally, that record left many people confused. Later, Nolan King of MMA Junkie confirmed through his sources that Renat had officially parted ways with the UFC after completing his contract. At this point, it's still unclear why the promotion chose not to re-sign him. Reaction from fans was immediate and intense. Many pointed out how an undefeated fighter with momentum could be let go, while others questioned why veterans on long losing streaks remain featured on main cards. Tai Tuivasa was frequently mentioned as an example, with critics arguing that entertainment value is being prioritized over competitive legitimacy. Some fans went as far as saying the UFC is shifting away from merit-based decisions and focusing purely on business and revenue. Others suggested this trend could result in fewer Russian and European fighters on the roster, claiming they don't generate enough money despite their elite skill sets. Comments poured in criticizing the UFC's structure, calling it promoter-controlled rather than sport-driven, and warning that continued decisions like this could weaken the overall talent pool. Not long after the backlash, Renat broke his silence. He confirmed that no one was fired and that the contract simply expired without renewal. He explained there were small details he wasn't ready to share publicly, saying it would require a full interview to explain everything properly. Renat made it clear he wasn't worried, noting that offers were already coming in, including opportunities with better pay. He emphasized that fighting, not money, is his true motivation, and that he left the UFC with dignity. Alongside him, Loik Radzhabov was also removed from the roster. This move came as less of a surprise, as he hasn't competed since his loss to Trey Ogden in July of 2024. Radzhabov finished his UFC run with a 2-2 record. The final fighter released was Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos. He leaves the promotion with an 11-6-1 record, with his most recent appearance ending in a loss to Neil Magny back in August. Overall, these roster changes have reignited debate about the UFC's priorities, balancing business decisions with sporting integrity, and what that means for fighters moving forward. Moving on to another news, the situation surrounding Ilia and his former partner has taken a serious turn, as his ex-wife has now revealed troubling developments. As many already know, the divorce between Ilia and Georgina became public very quickly and escalated just as fast. With the situation unfolding in the public eye, it has brought intense scrutiny, speculation, and emotional reactions from fans across the MMA community. Georgina has now stated that she filed an official report with the National Police headquarters in Madrid after receiving online threats connected to her divorce from Ilia. According to her, the harassment and threatening messages intensified as the situation gained more attention online. The report was filed as a protective step, highlighting how severe the online response has become. Since the news broke, a large portion of the MMA fan base has openly sided with Ilia, which has contributed to a wave of criticism and hostility directed toward Georgina. While public support for Ilia has been loud and consistent, it has also resulted in heavy backlash toward her, much of it fueled by assumptions rather than confirmed facts. At this point, most of what's circulating online is based on speculation, social media narratives, and one-sided interpretations. The reality is that the full details of the divorce have not been made public. There has been no clear, verified account explaining exactly what led to the split or what occurred behind closed doors. Everything remains a mix of he said, she said, and public perception shaped by loyalty to a popular fighter. Because of that, it's important to approach the situation with caution. Jumping to conclusions only adds to the hostility and can escalate already serious circumstances. Online threats, regardless of opinion, cross a clear line and create real-world consequences. For now, the most responsible approach is to remain neutral, allow the legal process to unfold, and wait for verified information before forming strong judgments. Until more concrete details are revealed, restraint and perspective are essential as this personal matter continues to develop in the public spotlight.